Okay, I want to share with you the one system that every business needs, even freelancers and solopreneurs. The one system every business needs. And like, you need to have this mapped out. You need to be completely clear on this if you are in any kind of business. And it's going to be completely clear in just a minute what this system is and how you can apply it in your business. Now, before we get into this, I was introduced to this system, and in fact, this system is it's a trademark of David Jenyns and his SYSTEMology process, and they call it the critical client flow. The critical client flow. And David actually introduced himself to me a little bit back. He said, I've published this book called SYSTEMology. I would love to share it with you. And if you like it, you can review it for me. And I said, David, I love that idea. But if I like it, I would like to do one better than reviewing it for you. I would like you to come on a webinar for my Breakthrough Marketing Secrets subscribers and teach SYSTEMology for solopreneurs and virtual businesses. And that's actually happening a little more than a month from now. That's happening March 18th, 2021. And I haven't officially put out invites for SYSTEMology for solopreneurs and virtual businesses for this webinar. But I wanted to share this video and share this thinking with you now, so you can go out and you can buy his book, and I'll include a link in the description with this video, so you can go out and buy his book and go through it before the webinar, which is going to be free for Breakthrough Marketing Secrets members, and go through it, really take it all in so that you can get the most out of the conversation that I'm going to have with David, and maybe join and ask some really good questions. But as part of this, one of the things, the first thing that he teaches businesses to come up with, and one of the things I love about his SYSTEMology approach is he completely focuses on how do you simplify the process of creating business systems and processes. And that's what SYSTEMology is all about. What is the simplest approach that we can take to creating systems and processes for our business, so that as we create those systems and processes, we can actually make sure, number one, that they are created, and number two, that they're used and implemented, because a system that's created just for the sake of being created adds a bunch of complexity to your business without adding any benefit. And so he focuses on how to create these systems that are going to be easily created and easily used. And when you do this, you get the benefit of, you spend a little bit of time creating the system for the business, and you get a lot of return from it. So this is the critical client flow. And this is really the starting point for so many business systems as taught in SYSTEMology. And so what this is basically the client's entire lifetime journey in a single flow chart. And so the first step of this system is attention. And David acknowledges, as every good marketer or business person or salesperson acknowledges, that there's a lot of ways that people get attention for their business. And so in here, you could have Google ads and Facebook ads. And if you're doing a lot of paid advertising online, it could be that. Or it could be one of the ways that we get attention is public speaking. One of the ways that we get attention is networking. And it could be, you could have 50 different sources of attention. So each of these could in themselves be, it could be paid traffic, it could be search engine optimization, it could be in-person events, it could be whatever, right? So you think about all the different ways that you get client attention. Next, you should have an inquiry process. This is basically where they become leads. And so all of that attention needs to lead to the point of, for example, if you're watching this video and you're not yet on my Breakthrough Marketing Secrets email list, This is you signing up for my email list, which you should do right now at breakthroughmarketingsecrets.com, or at least after this video is done. You can check out the link in the description. That is an inquiry, right? So starts with attention. Publishing videos on YouTube leads to an inquiry, which is them actually submitting their information and connecting with your business for the first time. And then these next few steps are the sales process, right? So oftentimes sales, and this acknowledges it, sales can be an initial conversation, like a disqualification / qualification call to figure out if they're a fit. It can be a service presentation, product presentation and proposal. It can be a contracting step, so there's these different steps that can fall under any given business's sales process. And it could also be, that's a very like hands-on sales process, typically for higher ticket services or higher ticket offers. It could be sign up for the email list. It could be autoresponder sequence. It could be, offer of the month. It could be whatever the sales process is to bring somebody in the door and make them a paying customer for the very first time. And then here's an important step: money, getting the money, right? So this is the point where the actual first transaction is made. And it's an important step in the system, because I've dealt with freelancers who don't know how to take money from clients. It's such a simple thing. I've dealt with people who it's hard to give money to. It's really hard to grow a successful business if you make it too hard to give you money, especially if you're not one of those people who's like in the man on the mountaintop that everybody wants to come to. Maybe if you're in that position, you can make it hard to give you money. In most other positions, you should make it really easy to give you money. And then this next step is onboarding, right? And so there is a process in any good business for the new customer, the new client, to actually start to get the delivery of the service and become a new customer, become a new client. And in some business, if it's a product-based business, this is typically a very simple step. There's nothing real complex about it. But for a much more extensive service-based business, for example, for copywriting, one of the things that I've talked about recently is this is where we understand their current conversion architecture, and then define what the best conversion architecture is to implement our more sophisticated marketing copywriting strategies. So there's this onboarding process where it's just the process of beginning the relationship with the client. And then there is the actual delivery, right? The delivery of the products or services, the actual work being done, the actual client getting the value out of the service. And then finally, there is repeat referral. So how does the first engagement with the client turn into more business? And so what happens here is, once you have this high level meta system for your business, for whatever product or service or business vertical we're talking about here, once you have this and you are crystal clear, you can explain each one of these steps, then eventually what's going to happen is you might recognize, well, we have some confusion in the money process and the getting money process. We have maybe invoices that aren't getting paid or something like that, right? So we have confusion in the money process. Well, what can we do in that case? How do we more clearly define this step and this system to more effectively do the job of getting the money? Or we have confusion in the inquiry process. Maybe we're really good when somebody actually calls us, right? But we could do a better job of figuring out how to get people to raise their hand and say that they're interested in doing business with us. And so you define this one system. And that's why I call it, with a big hat tip to David for introducing this, I call it the one system that every business needs, even freelancers and solopreneurs. So one of the things about David's SYSTEMology book and his process is he really focuses it on businesses that have really started to grow beyond the point where one person can just kind of oversee everything and like juggle all the balls, right? And that's often when the team is getting a little bit bigger, when there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 people or even more. And it's like everybody is really trying to rush around and get things done, but you don't easily have the capability for somebody to step in when somebody else is out of the office and take over or whatever. And really nailing down your business systems gets it gets all of that much more under control, and it brings some sanity to a business that may be feeling a little bit insane because the growth has gotten to the point where it's beyond being able to get away with not having systems. And so he sits people down and he says, let's map out this first. And then where are you having trouble? Where are you running into friction? And maybe your onboarding system needs to be improved. Maybe your delivery system needs to be improved. Maybe your repeater referral business needs to be improved. Maybe your getting attention needs to be improved, right? And so you'll define systems out of that. But even when you're at this place of being like a solopreneur, this is still something that has to happen for your business to be successful. So let's say if you're a freelance copywriter and you're just like running your own business, right? And you're kind of like, oh, well, I can get projects, I can get clients, whatever. But you don't have any consistency of that, and you just kind of chase opportunities when they jump up in front of you and all of that. And when you do that, maybe you do a fairly good job. Let's say you do a fairly good job with sales, and you do a fairly good job with, I can send people invoices when they ask for it and cash a check at the bank. And you do a fairly good job with onboarding and delivery. Maybe you don't have great repeat referral, but because you didn't have this system in place, you don't have a lot of awareness about that, right? But if you define, okay, this is the system that I need to have, and you're able to recognize, yeah, I'm pretty good at the sales and the money and the onboarding and the delivery, but I don't do a great job with repeater referral unless clients come back to me. And really, I don't have a really effective way to get attention and bring inquiries in the door. This is stuff that I teach. I teach things in a way that fill in all these gaps for you, right? But what I like about David's system is it just steps back and it says, when it comes to creating business systems, these are all the steps that are pretty much universal. But going back to that freelancer example, if you're really good at these steps in the middle, you might benefit by sitting down and brainstorming out again, it's called the critical client flow. You sit down and brainstorm out the critical client flow, and you recognize the different steps in your process, and you say, well, I don't really have a system for attention and inquiry. And honestly, if I did a pretty good job of setting up inquiries that fed into having conversations with clients, and then I worked backwards and I found a few different places where I could start getting more attention for my copywriting services. And I was thoughtful about that and very planful about it. And I knew that in order for somebody to become a happy client, I need to guide them through each of these steps. I need to have the clear next actions in place to guide them through these different steps. Then I'm able to get more clients in the door. I'm able to build my business a little bit more. I'm available. I'm able to create more success for those clients. I'm able to see much easier in my head where people are at in the process and have a good idea of where people are falling off or what I need to do to move them the next step along the way. It all becomes much more clear, even if you just sit down for 20, 30 minutes and brainstorm this out tonight, this weekend, whatever. To sit down and determine what your critical client flow is and how you can use that to grow your business and how you can use that to fill in the gaps. Or perhaps, to David's point, one of the very powerful things about SYSTEMology is that when you have these systems in place, it becomes easier to replace parts or to hand off different parts of it. And so if you are really good from inquiry down and you're running your freelance business, your solopreneur business, and you're really good at turning an inquiry into a happy customer and even repeat business, but you're not great at like driving traffic, for example, you could potentially partner with someone who has like that is their business, right? And you could partner with them to help get you attention for your business, knowing that as soon as they get the client from attention into this inquiry step, that you can easily handle it from there, and they're going to help you grow your business. And because you have all of this down and you even understand what the attention step needs to do, you can then say, well, I could try this person and I could try this person and I could try this person because I understand the underlying system and what it needs to accomplish. And when we have this underlying system and what it needs to accomplish, we can plug different people into that system and send them through. And it helps create a business that's much easier to grow, much more scalable by thinking through these things and thinking not just in terms of, oh, I want to sell things and whatever, or I want to like do some client work and whatever, or I want to cash some checks and whatever, but how do I build something that can actually be built and that can actually scale and that's not going to fall apart as soon as I start to get some momentum. So again, this is the critical client flow from David Jenyns' SYSTEMology, which is his business. It's also a fairly recent book, and I will include a link to get that book on Amazon. It's a great book. I've been through it once. I'm going to go through it again before I interview David next month as part of BTMS Insiders. And I would encourage you to get that book and then go through it. And next month on March 18th, when I interview David about SYSTEMology for solopreneurs and virtual businesses, we'll all be able to ask better questions and really get the most out of that opportunity to speak with him. My name is Roy Furr for Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. I think I made that clear at least once. If you are not yet a Breakthrough Marketing Secrets subscriber, you should certainly go to breakthroughmarketingsecrets.com and enter your email address, and you can join my email list there. You'll get access to these videos. I send out these videos on a daily basis, plus exclusive content for email subscribers, including this SYSTEMology for solopreneurs and virtual businesses webinar that I will be doing with David. So subscribe. Leave a comment here. Let me know on a scale of 1 to 10 how valuable you found this and why, and like what's your big takeaways, what's your action items, are you going to actually do this for your business? So leave that comment below, tap that like button before you go so you get more content like this delivered to you, and so the magical algorithms of the internet will share it with more people like you who will find it valuable. And you can certainly share it with people who you know would find it valuable in your life. And again, subscribe here, subscribe at Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. I always aim for that 10 out of 10 value, and David's work to me delivers 10 out of 10 value. And I hope that I have shared that 10 out of 10 value with you here. And I look forward to seeing you again in your next video issue of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. See you soon. Bye.